here are the 5 lies of red pill promiscuous men such as Myron Gaines of Fresh and Fit. Number 1, they act like they're trying to look out for all the other men out there, but they're using their alpha status as having money or physical attraction or fame in order to attract and seduce numerous women, and then eventually get married, quote unquote. But so the first lie is that they're looking out for all men. They don't really care about all other men, otherwise they would respect these other men's future wives and these other people's daughters and sisters. Number 2, they have this idea that you can eventually transition to wanting a wife after figuring out about women by quote unquote dating them. The very term dating is a lie because it really means seduction and intimacy without wanting to connect or attach or commit to the person. So the second lie is that even though they say that they eventually want a wife, they really don't, because whatever you're doing currently is what you're currently doing. You know, and that's what you prefer to do. Otherwise, they would be on the path of marriage and trying to find the most efficient way in order to get that. And they're suggesting that it's through seducing all these women, but I disagree. The third deception is that they act like they're being masculine when they're seducing all these women, but really what they're doing is they're being feminine. They're operating out of their emotions and their desire, and they're engaging with all these women that are not their wife, rather than being disciplined and masculine and preparing a space for their, and saving up all their money and extra time. It all adds up, and saving all that for one person. And then the fourth lie is that they can get a wife. And the reality is that they think that because they can seduce all these women, and that these women get initially attracted by either their physical body or their charm, quote unquote, their game, their manipulation. But that's not going to last forever. And they have these ideas of living first before marriage, and all of the stats suggest that the highest likelihood, which people should be at least trying to do, is where both people are pure, and even if that means they're born again pure with their V card, but that is what really that is what it's going to result in more likely, and no premarital intimacy. That's going to all result in a higher likelihood of a successful marriage. Even if it's, and this is their lie number 5, that, because it's the state is all bad, you shouldn't get married and you shouldn't commit, look at that, and that you shouldn't commit to a woman. But I would say that you should commit, even if it doesn't involve legally that you should commit to them publicly, with a wedding band, with a legal name change for the woman, and with presenting yourselves as a couple, which dating, quote unquote, is designed to do. Dating is something that used to only occur between married people, and that would be in order to represent themselves as a committed couple. So to review, there are these 5 different ways that they secretly get around the truth. And by the way, if they're not willing to debate, and also like people like Myron aren't willing to discuss his personal life, well, that means you're not willing to subject yourself to scrutiny to see whether or not you yourself are a hypocrite. So again, number 1, they are lying because they're acting like they're looking out for all the other men, but they're really seducing everyone else's men's and wives and making it and corrupting the society. And then acting like it's all women's fault. It's men's fault. Men's are the leaders. It's a man's world. Men are able to be more logical and stronger generally than women. So we're supposed to be the ones creating an environment for women to thrive. And then number two, like this idea that they are somehow trying to find, a wife in the most efficient way. Not true, because the way you do that is by avoiding premarital intimacy and by preparing and saving yourself and being masculine and only loving one person. And number three, like the idea of acting as if just because they can seduce lots of women that they can get a wife, or acting as if and women do the same thing, by the way. Women act like, oh, just because I can, lots of men want intimacy with me means they would also commit to me. No, not true. And then four, I'm not sure what four was, and five, but you get the idea. Like it's all about being honest and trying to find the most efficient path, and not and admitting that they are prefer promiscuity instead of marriage, and they're not all trying to work together and really create a family atmosphere. And the idea that you need to have experience with people to learn who you are. You should be able to learn all that through hearing of others' challenges and mistakes, and subsequently engaging in self-intimacy and having a concrete understanding of who you are as a man, and what type of women you're attracted to. And that leads me to the idea of these people who say that they're religious, but they're really not. The religious man, the true religious one, is the one who is principled and would not want intimacy with a woman even if she wanted it, except under the circumstances of them being married and she following him and his religion and wanting him to be the man so that she can be the woman, the feminine, and be able to look out for the kids instead of having the state do that. Be able to cook dinner for them instead of them having to hire someone or, buying fast food. All of that. So there you go. Let's go past the lies and into the truth. And be sure to check out my website, shieldheart.org. And I do have a bonus website. It's called yaywife.com. Because you know what? We've created a society where marriage is not that fun, and commitment to one person isn't that fun, because we got predatory men around, and we got confusion and a bunch of men who can't trust each other. But we're going to rebuild all that trust with some new, fresh ideology. Aloha.